What's up, my dudes and duets? Welcome to another episode of SportsCy. So today we're going to be working on our strength training so we can jump higher. If you've been following the channel for a while, you know that I've been trying to work on my vertical jump for, good God, it's almost 2 years now. But what I'm going to be working on is, because I'm a strength coach, I'm going to be helping you guys understand what you need to work on in order to increase your vertical jump so that maybe you can dunk like I'm trying to. So today, the first thing that we're actually just going to talk about is the basics that you need in order to jump higher. So currently, I've been doing some type of training where I started a new phase that's going to be 16 weeks. What I'm going to be showing you guys is different ways that I'm tackling my own problem. Whether you may have a problem where you're too short, where people think that you don't have the genetics to dunk or the genetics to jump high enough, make sure to subscribe right now, because I'm going to be tackling those problems. We're going to go through it together. So first thing that I'm going to talk about is exactly how you increase your strength. And what is strength?
2002, 2003, 2004.
Man, all right, so all kidding aside, before in the past, I used to think that strength meant that you had to be big like a bodybuilder. While it's partly true that you need to actually attack some weights so that you can get stronger, it's not necessarily the same exact type of training. When you're working with bodybuilding, you're working with fatigue, because that's how you're going to be able to get that most hypertrophy. But if you're trying to improve your vertical jump, you need to make sure that you focus on max strength. So this week, since I started, one of the things that I did is I squatted, I did reverse squats, and I also did Bulgarian squats. On all of them, I actually try to make sure that I hit about 75% of my 1 rep max. Why that's important? Because that's what you actually really need to recruit the most amount of fast twitch muscles. Fast twitch muscles is pretty much like the most powerful one, because everything that you need to understand about maximum force is understanding that you need force to put into the ground, and that's what's going to be able to propel you up. I used to make common misconceptions where I would just think that my vertical jump was just going to get bigger by doing simple calf raises, not doing too much weight, and you can get away with that, and we'll talk about it later on in this series. But the most important thing that you must understand is that max strength is what you need to do. Leg day, where I was doing squats, Bulgarians, just as I mentioned. Today, I'm gonna be working on plyometrics. But if you're ever doing one of those days, you have to start off with plyometrics, and I'll explain why. You're probably wondering to yourself, what am I doing? So first thing that I'm doing is actually a plyo exercise called one-legged slalom, which is basically just line jumps. All you're trying to do, keep the legs straight, just going for 15 reps. Now, plyometrics are another way that you can improve your vertical jump beyond just lifting weights. So when you're doing that, you have to work on something that is called reactive strength. So that's when you'll see people, when you jump down, you immediately explode up. So it's all about the quick movement. That's the most important thing about plyometrics. But plyometrics also require a lot of time in between sets. So that's why I was saying that if you're going to be doing any strength training type of stuff that day, make sure you start off with plyometrics. Doing those broad jumps, the important reason why I'm doing those broad jumps is to mimic very much the squat, and it's another plyometric that you can actually get more force into the ground so you can propel yourself forward. Now I know you're thinking, how is a broad jump going to help me with jumping higher? Well, again, it's the force that you're able to apply into the ground that's going to help you. So if you work on the maximum amount of like broad jumps or the distance that you can go, you're going to be that much stronger at the hips, which is going to help you in terms of propelling up. So, and also the thing that you want to do is you want to reset every time that you're doing one of these broad jumps, because when you're doing plyometrics, like I said, you want to take time in between each rep so that you get it to the full maximal ability, because that's how you're going to strengthen yourself and also get your muscles to be more reactive, because we're working on reactive strength. That is another form. That right there is another form of explosive step-ups. And when you're doing these explosive step-ups, you want to make sure that one foot is on the pad, one foot is straight, one leg is straight, and then you're jumping as high as possible and then landing in that same position that you jumped off of. You don't want to bend when you're doing this. And as you can tell on my left side, it is much weaker. Okay, got to take it easy on the tendons and the joints. So I'm going to be doing drop jumps, depth jumps. All I'm doing is setting up a box. It's about 18 inches, dropping, and as soon as I land off the ground, I'm jumping as high as possible, landing on a box. This is a good way to keep working on that reactive strength, which is very important with plyometrics. But before I continue doing these depth jumps, because I only have one more set, I'm actually going to sign off. And again, remember, there's four things. Actually, there's a few things that you need to remember in terms of increasing your vertical jump through strength training. Number one, you need to focus on max force. Number two, you need to also worry about your plyos, reactive strength. And number three, you also need to make sure that the tension is high so that you can actually develop your muscles and get them recruited to the highest level. You want to think about, you want to train like a sprinter, not necessarily a marathon runner. So you want to get that intensity up, but also another thing we're going to talk about in another episode is going to be recovery. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, put it in the comment section below things that you'd like to see during this next series called Strength Training to Jump Higher, and I'll be glad to answer them as we go. And if you need personal help, shoot me an email at shemafitness@gmail.com, where I can write a customized program for you, or you can follow along by subscribing and checking me out for the next 4 months. All right, that does it for me. Thanks for checking me out.